Okay, so hello everyone, hello future engineers. For this discussion video, our focus is on the continuation of our topics on geometry. But for this discussion video, our focus is on the volume of solids. So it is expected that after this discussion video or after this lesson, you will be able to find the volume and surface area of different types of solids, including rectangular solids, cube, spheres, cylinders, cones, and even pyramids if ever given an opportunity to have more time to discuss. So in this section, you are also expected to perform a lot of problem solving, not only pertaining to the exact substitution method and a specific formula, but perform your problem solving techniques and problem solving strategy as per and the application sa mga sari-sari nga formula sang volume of solids nga kinahanglan naton i-discussable. Okay, so sa sini nga section or sa sini nga discussion video, we will finish our study sa aton nga geometry applications. Kung nakita ninyo dire-diretso sa halin sang midterm up until now, we have our geometry nga discussion. We will find the volume and surface area sang sari-sari nga solid three-dimensional ng mga figures. So, since we will be solving some different types of applications, that means kinanglan naton liwat ang inyong nga idea at the same time ang inyong natun-an on the problem solving strategy. And this time, gamiton ta siya into the concept of your geometry applications. Okay, so just a simple lang nga review or just a simple nga reminder. If we are performing a problem solving on a specific man siya bisan ano man siya nga application, always pinakauna gid nga step is to read the problem. Okay, make sure nga naintindihan ang tanan-tanan nga words kag ideas sa bisan ano nga problem nga pwede ninyo ma-solve later on. Kung hindi naintindihan sa una pa lang nga basa, read again. So, it is important nga naintindihan gid naton kung ano ang nakaplastar sa specific nga problem nga kinahanglan naton answeran. Next, kung naintindihan na ang problem, draw a figure or a representation and label it with a given nga mga information. Kung na-label ta na nakaobra ta figure, nakaobra ta representation of the problem, then go back. Go back to the problem and identify. So, identify what are you looking for. What is asked in the problem. Next, kung nabalaan ta na or we were able to name what we are looking for, then choose the variable. Variable to represent sang sina nga quantity or sang sina nga ginapangita, sang sina nga missing nga parameter. Then we have kung may ara ka na sang mga given, may ara ka na what is asked, then translate all that into an equation. So, maubrata sang specific nga appropriate gid nga formula or model for the situation or for the problem nga kinahanglan naton gina-solve. Okay? So, dari na ni kinahanglan ang inyo nga concepts on algebra, concepts on trigonometry, concepts on the previous natin yung mga discussion on geometry. And then, after sina, kung may ara ka na equation, dara dayon naton i-substitute ang aton nga mga given information. Then, syempre, hindi lang na da mag-stop sa sinaka-part kung na-substitute natin ang value. Kisa, ang nakaplastar sa problem, hindi lang diretso nga purely substitution. Sometimes we have to perform algebraic techniques. Kinahanglan man mag-solve gamit ang trigonometric ng mga functions or trigonometric equations. So, kinahanglan naton liwat balikan ang aton nga mga basic mathematical concepts. Then, if ever nakasolve ka na, kag may answer ka na, ang pinaka okay gid always nga himuon is to check. To check kung ang imo nga answer sa sa problem is correct. To check kung ang imong mga solusyon wala sang problema or wala ka sang may nalaktawan. To check if your answer makes sense or your answer or ang answer nga nakuha nimo has the units nga ah, nga gaka-respond sa specific nga what is asked sa aton nga problem. So, mas okay always nga balikan ang ginapamangkot or what is asked and the problem for you to identify kung nagmatch ang imong nga nakuha or nakuha nga answer kag ang ginapangita sa specific na problem. Okay, for this discussion video, una-una naton i-discuss is ang um, volume and surface area sang medyo familiar na kita, which is the rectangular solids. Okay, so rectangular solids. Okay, so syempre, ang aton di nga kinahanglan i-solve is the volume and also the surface area sang sini nga mga rectangular solids. So let me just give a simple nga situation or um, nga pwede naton makita ang ini nga application of your rectangular solids. Okay, so for example, you are or there is a cheerleading coach which is having a squad paint wooden crates with the school colors to stand on at the games. So the amount of paint needed to cover the outside of each box is a surface area. The square measure the total area of all sides. The amount of space inside the crate is the volume. And that is your cubic measure. So, kabalo naman ta na kung anong butsilingon sang box or sang anong itsura sang wooden crate or ano itsura sang rectangular box naton. So, we have this one, ammonia for example. So, if you are a, kung hindi ka man da be cheerleading coach, hindi ka man da bisan sa simple na lang application, kung gusto mo ni pintahan, ang tanan-tanan nga sides sini, ano na kinahanglan naton i-solve. So that para ma-estimate mo na, kag correct ang pag-estimate, kinahanglan naton sumahon ang aton nga surface area. So we have to identify its surface area. And for example, you have a certain box, kag gusto mo mabalaan pila ang pwede sini maunod. Kinahanglan mo naman nga i-solve ang ginatawag naton nga volume. So and when we talk about volume, medyo familiar na tana sa ginatawag naton nga volume. When we talk about volume, kabalo ko familiar na kamo ni. We will have so V is equal to length times width times height. Okay, so we have length times width times height. So amo lang man ang formula kinahanglan naton i-identify or kinahanglan naton permi matandaan when we talk about rectangular solids. Take note whether it be this one rectangular or whether it be cube, same lang man na Japon ang concept, that is length times width times height. Ang kinalain lang sang aton nga cube is that if we have a cube, that is just ang imo nga isa ka side equal sa tanan-tanan. Therefore, we have S times S times S. Therefore, ang imo nga volume is S cube. That's why S cube ang ginagamit natin nga formula for a certain nga cube nga mga equations or nga mga figures. So, another one is, so nga length times width times height ang atong gingamit dari nga representation. So take note nga ang ginalantaw dari naton is this one. You have this sa mga sa dalom nga part, this one. So amo nang yang itsura sa dalom. This is your width. This is your length. So this is your height. Okay? Ang ari nga part, this is your height. So both silingon, we have so kung tan-awon ta ni ang area sa aton nga base nga part, area sa aton nga base nga part is equal to length times width. Kaya rectangle lang man siya. So that is length times width. Both silingon gali, pwede man nga yung mga gamiton nga formula is your V is equal to base times height. So you have your base times height or your length times width times height. So any of this pwede man Japon. Okay, so nga, again emphasize ko niyang ini nga equation which is base times height because later on, gamiton tani nga concept ang base times height sa ibang pang type of solids. Okay, so for example, we have a certain rectangular solid nga ang iya nga measure, this one is okay. So for example, this is 2, this is 4, and ang imo nga height is 3. So for example lang ha, so this is 2, this is 4, this is 3. So ang pamangkot subong is pila ang aton nga volume. So if we talk about volume, automatic, that will be purely substitution ka na lang dayon. I know nga aware na ka mo ni, kag hindi na ni siya medyo budlay sa inyo, that is 2. So times 4 times 3. And this is, so we have 12 times 2, that is 24. And this is, take note, cubic units. So kung wala ka din may nakabutang nga units, we will have cubic units. Okay, another question is, paano natin subong isolve ang aton nga surface area? If you are asked to find the surface area of a rectangular solid, so ano ang kinahanglan may consider? So think about finding the area sang tanan-tanan nga faces. So amo lang muna. So maghambato surface area, pila ni ang kabilugan nga area sang mga sides niya. So ang mga face niya, so pila ni ang area, pila ng area sa dalom ari sa kilid naton. Okay, so we have to consider, syempre, may ara ka area, i-consider ta area sa ating nga front nga part. So, area sa ating nga side nga part. And we have area sa ating nga top nga part. Okay, so amo na ito ni consider. So, front nga part, so we have, okay, so, amo lang ni ako ni i-consider, this is your front. So, para hindi ta magtalang ha. This is my front. This is my side. And this is my top. Para hindi ka mo magtalang. So, we have. So, for area sa akong nga front. So, this is square. So, that is equal to 4 times 3. Okay, 4 times 3. That is equal to 12 square units. Next. For area sa akong nga side, so this is 3 times 2. That is 3 times 2. That is equal to 6 square units. And we have area sa top is, this is 2 by 4. That is 8. 2 times 4. That is equal to 8 square units. Okay, so notice that for each of the faces nga nagkakita naton or ginsolve naton, may ara siya identical nga opposite face nga amo man na ang consider naton. Ang top, may ara ka man siya equivalent ri sa lower part. So may ara ka another nga side nga amo man ni Japon ang area niya. Same man sang sing imong front, same man sang imong side. So that means, okay, so that means nga pwede naton i-consider nga ang kabilugan naton nga surface area is equal to the area sang imong front plus back. Then we have plus. So we have left side plus right side man da siya plus your top plus bottom. So nga part. So pwede nga amo ni. Okay, so both silingon or this could be equal to duwa ka front plus duwa ka side plus duwa ka top nga value. That means kung isolve ta na aton nga surface area, your surface area will be equal to your 2 times 12, which is 24, plus 2 times 6, which is equal to 12, plus 2 times 8, which is equal to 16, which is equal to, this is 38 plus 24, that is 50, or 28 plus 24, that is 52 square units. Okay, so amo lang na siya mag-solve kita sa aton nga surface area. So, ang na-solve naton, yung surface area sa sini nga rectangular solids is 52 square units. Okay, so if we would like to make a general nga formula for the rectangular solids, so pwede naton obrahon nga general ang formula. So nga hindi na ta diretso mag-solve sang or hindi na ta mag-amo sini. But it still depends sa inyo kung magamit ka mo formula based or you have to perform sang pareho sini nga calculation. Okay, so if we will be having a general equations of the formula nga gingamit naton. So we have for each rectangular solid nga may ara ka length, width, and height nga value. So ang aton volume, syempre, that is your length times width times height. And for your surface area, okay, so for surface area, that is equal to, okay, so sa iban nga book, S lang na ang surface area. So, pwede man nga S na lang atong gamiton. Okay, para hindi ka mo magtalang. So, S is equal to 2 ka length times height plus, so 2 ka length times width plus 2 ka width times height. So, take note, amo ni ang general formula of the equation of nga pwede natin magamit kung ang aton i-consider nga mga problem is concerning sa mga rectangular solids. So again, duwa lang man ang kinahanglan naton pangitaon. We have your volume and we have your surface area. Okay, next diri, we have another nga special type of your rectangular solids, and this one ginatawag naton nga cube. Very familiar na ta. We have your cube. Kagina sa babaw, gin-discuss ko na nga daan ang aton nga ang aton nga volume for a cube, which is, so parehas lang man na Japon ang aton nga kinahanglan i-consider. So we have this one is equal ang value kay cube siya gani. So that is equal to, so that means, so we will have your V is equal to, so equal ni, so this is represent siya as S times S times S. Therefore, yung mga volume is equal to S cubed na lang diretso. How about sa sininga value for your surface area? For your surface area naman, that is equal to, so S times S, that is S squared, plus 2S squared liwat, plus 2S squared liwat. So this is equal to 6S squared. Therefore, ang imo gali nga formula for a cube, V naton is equal to S cubed. Aton nga surface area is equal to 6S squared. Okay, so that means this is our formula for the volume and surface area of a cube. Next, nga kinanglan naton mangin familiar or kinanglan naton ma-review is the volume and surface area ng sphere. So, medyo familiar naman ta kung ano ang ginatawag naton nga sphere. So, a very common nga example is a basketball. It's like a three-dimensional nga circle. So just like a circle, the size of a sphere is determined by its radius. So which is the distance halin sa iyang nga center pakadto sa any point sa surface sang aton nga gina-consider nga sphere. So ang formula kag volume sang volume kag surface area sang aton nga sphere, amo lang man ang kinahanglan naton i-determine sa subong nga discussion. So if we have to talk about the volume of a sphere, so hindi na ito mag-derivation, but I'll give you the formula for the volume of the sphere. V of the sphere, butang ko lang sphere. Volume of the sphere is equals to your 4/3 pi r cube. This is the formula for the volume of the sphere. Next, we have your surface area of the sphere. So surface area is equals to apat ka circle. This is equals to 4 pi r squared. Okay, this is the formula kinahanglan naton i-consider for sphere. Okay, this is for sphere. So we have, this is for cube, this is for rectangular solids. Okay, so we have rectangular solids, cube, and sphere. Next subong natin nga concern is the volume and surface area of a cylinder. So medyo another one nga very familiar na ta is a cylinder. And ang aton nga concern is its volume and surface area. Okay, probably nakakita na kamo sang mga can of soda. So, you know, kung nakakita na kamo sina, then nakakita na kamo sa ginatawag natin nga cylinder. And ma-identify ninyo what or how a cylinder looks like. A cylinder is a solid figure. May ara ka duwa ka parallel circles of the same size sa imong nga top and bottom nga part. The top and the bottom of the cylinder, ginatawag siya natin nga bases. So, height sa aton nga cylinder, that is the distance halin sa aton or between sa aton nga duwa ka bases nga gina-consider or the base natin nga circle. For all the cylinders we will work with here, the sides and the height na kinahanglan natin na i-consider will always be perpendicular to the bases. So, hindi lang tadanay may consider sa mga slanted height for a cylinder. But for this one, perpendicular cylinder lang aton nga i-consider. So, again, a cylinder has two circular bases of equal size. May ara kita height, which is the distance between the bases. Okay, so sige. So, we will have... Okay, so kabalo na ta nga doon mo ni iyang representation, doon mo nang imong itsura of your cylinder. So, this one, syempre, may ara ka disang, since this is a circle, may ari ka dig na consider this one as your radius, and we have your height. So, we have your height. So kung nakita ninyo kagina, gin-emphasize ko gid ang sa rectangular solids. Because for the rectangular solids, very somewhat similar ang aton nga cylinder. Because they have both sa aton nga bases and height. So the formula for the volume and sa aton nga rectangular solid nga gin-mention ko kagina is that V is equal to your base times height. Isa ni sa gin-consider ko kagina nga formula. And this one can also be used to find the volume sa aton nga cylinder. Okay, for a rectangular solid, ang area sa aton nga base, however, is the area of a rectangle, which is base times, which is the area of your base, which is length times width lang diretso. Kay rectangle to siya ang aton nga gi-consider. But for a cylinder, ang area nga sa aton nga base nga kinahanglan i-consider is the area of its circular nga base. So, kung tanawon ta di, if we have to consider base times height, therefore, kinahanglan ta na ikuhaon ang area sang base, wherein base is equals to area sang circle, which is pi r squared. So, that's why we will have a formula diretso for your volume, which is equals to pi r squared h. This is the formula for the volume of your cylinder. Okay, so nakuha ta na ang formula for the volume of a cylinder. Ang aton subong concern is the surface area of a cylinder. Kag paano na siya natin ikuhaon or paano na siya natin i-perform. Okay, so think of a can of vegetable, for example. It has three surfaces. We have the top, we have the bottom nga part, we have the piece that forms the side of a can. So, again, so kung i-represent ko na by a drawing, we will have, so, kung i-imagine naton, we will have this one. So, may ara ka circle dari sa babaw, may ara ka circle dari sa dalong. And ang akon nga, okay, hindi pa parehas ba? So, we have this one. Basta parehas na sila. Circle na sila ha. Then we have ang ini nga part which is the side naton. So kung i-detach ko ni halin diri sa aton nga mga bases. So kag i-cut ko ng isa ka side, this will form a rectangle. Ari nga part. So ang ma-form niya nga side is this one. Okay? So amo ni siya. Therefore, ang ako ni consider nga part is this one. So area, ini nga area, this another area, and this another area. And that is the surface area of the sphere. Okay, so question subong is, given sa aton ang ini nga value. So we are given your h, we are given your radius. Question is, this one is h. So if pangitao naton ang area of the circular bases, wala ta problema. Since this is just a circle and pwede ta siya automatically ma-identify as ang imo nga area is pi r squared. Diretso. Concern naton subong is the area of your rectangular nga part. Ang area sa aton rectangular part is your length times width. Ang aton subong concern is wala nato nabalaan kung pila ni ang ining value. Okay? This one, take note, ang ining nga side, this one, amo ni siyang kapalibot dere. Amo ni siya kalaba. That means kinanglan ta ang formula for the circumference of a circle. And if we identify, or if we go back to the concept of a circle, your circumference of a circle is equal to 2 pi r. Therefore, ining nga value is 2 pi r. So that means area sini is equal to 2 pi r h. So that is 2 pi r h. Okay, so if we have to solve for the surface area is, this one is pi r squared plus another nga pi r squared plus your 2 pi r h. That means ang aton nga formula for the surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Okay, this is the formula for the volume and surface area of your cylinder. So we have, so sulat ko lang liwat, V is equal to pi r squared h, S is equals to 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. So this is the formula for the volume and surface area of a cylinder. Okay, so amo na siya ang mga formula for the volume of specific na solids. So ang wala na lang naton subong na solve is the volume and surface area of a cone. Okay, so kung mag-mention kita about cone, syempre first nga image that many of us have when we hear about the word cone is an ice cream. So, or ice cream cone. So there are many other applications of cones, but most are not as tasty, syempre, as ice cream cones. So in this part of this discussion video, we will see how to find the volume of a cone. So in geometry, a cone is a solid figure nga may ara ka sa ngang isa ka circular nga base and then you have a vertex. So the height of a cone is the distance between sa aton nga base kag sa vertex. So the cones nga kinahanglan naton i-consider sa sini nga discussion video, always have the height perpendicular to the base. So we will have this one. So kabalo na ta na maghambal ta nga cone. So dumiara ka lang sang circle. So you have a circular base, you have a vertex, and then this one. Okay. Ang ini nga perpendicular part, this is your height. So this is your height. Pakadto sa imong center. Ang ini nga part is your radius. So you have your radius and you have your height. Again, this is your vertex. Okay, kung kagina sa previous naton nga discussion about the volume of the cylinder, nakita naton ang aton volume as pi r squared h para sa cylinder. We can think of a cone as part of a cylinder. So that means pwede ta siya i-consider as part of a cylinder. So doon mo niyang i-itsura. So this one. Okay? So do diri ko siya ginkuha ang akon nga cone. Okay? Ari siya nga akon nga cone. Ginkuha ko siya sa sulod sang isa ka cylinder. Okay, so the volume of the cone is always less than the volume of a cylinder with the same base and height. So take note kada permi. Ang volume sang cone kung parehas ang imong base kag height with a cylinder is always less than ang mga answer. So in fact, the volume of the cone is exactly 1/3 of the volume of a cylinder. So take note always ha. So mga 1/3 lang na siya always ang volume sang cone compared sa volume sang cylinder. Okay, so since consider na naton, that means nga hambal naton 1/3 lang siya with the volume of your cylinder. So amo na lang ang formula ang aton nga i-consider. You will have your volume or V naton is equals to 1/3 base times height. So we have. And kung i-consider naton nga base there is a circle, therefore we will have your 1/3 pi r squared h. This is the formula for the volume of a cone. That is your 1/3 pi r squared h. Okay, so hasta lang tadidanay for the volume of a cone, for the surface area of a cone. At the same time, kung malambutan pa natin ang concept about pyramid, so we will have to go back sa sina nga mga concepts later on. Okay, so before kita mag-proceed with the calculation topics or the application of this concept in problem solving, make sure you are aware and medyo nabalikan nyo na ang concept about sa mga geometric topics and trigonometric topics. So make sure you are aware of the concept of supplementary and complementary angles. So again, medyo kung wala pa, balikan nyo na. Please make sure also to be familiarized again sa concept of triangles. So also consider the concept of similar triangles, trapezoid nga topics. So kay gamiton ta na siya to solve for the sphere application, cylinder, circle, cones, rectangular solids, even rectangles and cube nga mga problems. So this is it for now. So watch out for our discussion video on the different types of problems applying sang sininga concept. Thank you. Stay safe. God bless.